All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on our team call every Thursday at 2 p.m. Get right to it. Super excited. We just had Summer on our call a couple weeks back. Was talking to Evan and kind of figuring out who we should have back on, and he goes, "Get Summer back on here because we're doing some pretty awesome things starting out." I mean, how long have you been working with us?
It's coming up like 4 weeks, I think.
4 weeks. And
Mhm.
I don't know if everybody knows, but Summer, what are you doing right now? Because you're currently in school, right?
Yeah. So I'm in 15 hours of school. So I'm full-time student and I have like a couple of little jobs that I do. And then I do this full time.
So you're going to school, have two other jobs, and you do this full time. So
Yep. Mm.
can you that's incredible. So the one thing I want to really get out to people on what you're doing, because it's pretty impressive to be honest. What does your what does your schedule look like when it comes to your dial sessions, right? And then your time actually being in the field.
Right.
Can you break that down with kind of what you already have going on and how you make time for this, and just kind of break down your schedule for people that are kind of newer or struggling to get to where they want to get to in this business?
Right. So yeah, I wake up pretty early, I would say like 6 o'clock. And then I go to my job that I have in the morning for a few hours. And then I come on dial day and I'll get on the dial, immediately start dialing. And then if I'm in the field, I'll go in the field. As soon as I get off my other job, I'll just go straight to my first house. And yeah, besides that, I would say like I said, this business is a mindset. So when you are dialing, don't give up, just keep going, the results will pay off. If you have to dial till 7, 8 o'clock at night, then you have to do what you have to do. But um, maybe you have to buy more leads. There's just always different circumstances that might get in the way. But if you keep, striving to reach that 15 appointments, then you'll do it.
Cool. And I want to get a little bit into kind of the nuts and bolts of what you're doing. I also kind of want to hit on some adversity stuff, because I think a lot of people in this business, they see the highs, but
Right.
we really don't talk too much about some of the lows and the mindset. So can you kind of explain? So are you out of Houston?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you're running, what kind of leads are you running?
I run like strictly final expense and new internet leads. Like I just buy a little bit, half and half of each, depending on, how many are available in the county that I want to run that day.
Yeah. And are you talking like the age final expense, like 1 to 3 month, or like the Facebook?
No, I really just do the new instant ones. And then yeah, I haven't ran like really any 1 month, 2 month, 3 month leads.
Okay. So by an instance, and when you say final expense, are you talking your internet leads are turning into final expense, or like actual final expense leads through campaigns or through the CRM?
The CRM.
Okay. So you're getting some age final expense leads and then also instance news.
Yeah.
Now
Just,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
Now,
Mm.
and you're out of Houston. So are you looking at counties? Because I know Houston's a very big city, a lot of agents that kind of run out of there, fairly competitive market. So are you buying leads directly in there? Or are you traveling hour, 2, 3 hours to run business when it's time to run business?
Yeah, I travel every day. I ran in Houston my first couple of days and I didn't like it as much just because it's the city. So a lot of people have, gates and all that good stuff. So you can't really get to the door. So I wanted to go more in the country. So that's what I've really been doing.
Okay, so you're traveling hour, 2, whatever it takes to get your
Right.
appointment count to where it needs to be. Right. And I think your first month looks like you helped out.
Mm.
You finished at about 9 families helped. And I know last week you helped 12 families with insurance. Right.
Right. Mhm.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Um, so you're saying getting instance news, final expense, traveling hour or 2 when it comes time. What are some of the challenges you've had to overcome getting started with this, whether it be just mentally, but also, financially coming into this to get yourself, because you got some really good momentum going on right now.
Right. I would say, yeah, number one, it definitely is very mentally. Like 2 days ago, for instance, I like went out in the field, drove like 2 hours to someone's house. They instantly no-showed me, called them, wouldn't answer the phone, went to another house like an hour and a half from that house. Same thing, didn't answer the phone, didn't open the door. Went to another house like an hour from that one. It's like 6 hours in right now, and I have not sat down or even spoke to a single person. So like you can only imagine, what's going through your head at the time, but you just keep going. That's all you can do is just tell yourself to keep going. And then end of the day with 2 sales, which I did not even think was going to be possible that day, honestly.
You just keep showing up,
Yeah.
right? Control what you can control. And I want to hit on a couple of things, but I do want to open up in a bit. One of the things that I've noticed, and there's an awesome story with Evan when he was running, when we were first starting this thing, he was ready to quit, and he was all day driving around, same deal, no shows, blaming this and that. And it was his last appointment that he stuck it out. He went to, and that changed the business. Because I'm telling you, that moment in time changed his entire trajectory. He just showed up, but it happens to everybody, right? Evan's a 2-time Hall of Famer, has a lot of success here, but he also has days. I can promise you that he might still question things, right? But it's like you just got to keep on showing up. So what else? So like if you're talking to a brand new agent coming on, someone that has not sold a policy, someone that is looking to share this with people, or somebody that's kind of in between the 5 and 10 families helped a month, what would your advice be to get them over that hump, or to get somebody some traction in this business?
Right. Yeah. So I would definitely say you have to have obviously determination, drive. You have to wake up every day. If you're sitting there asking yourself, am I going to get up at 6 a.m. today because I have to be at somebody's house because they have to be at work by 7:30, so I have to get there early? Or am I going to be out in the field till 8, 9 o'clock at night because maybe they don't get off until 7? If you are asking yourself those questions and you say you're not going to do it, then this job probably isn't for you, like, to be straight up honest, because there's going to be days where you have to get up early, you have to stay out late, you have to miss a lunch because maybe you're 3 hours behind on your appointments. That's just reality. So, I think if you're sitting there asking yourself any of these questions and your answer is no, then like you're going to struggle in this business. So, wake up every day determined to get better. It's like pretty much the number one thing I could say.
So now a lot of agents come in and they're so overwhelmed with all the carriers, the products, the e-apps, the quotes. You really didn't. You came in, from what I understand, you listen because you work with Gabe and Evan, right? And they're awesome guys. They're always there to help, but you kind of just listen to what they said and you just went, right? So if there's new agents that are kind of thinking those thoughts, what would you say to them to kind of just get moving?
Yeah, I would say definitely if you have like any question, you think it's dumb. Actually, today I like called Gabe with like a question that was pretty dumb, but just ask it, because in the end, it's only going to make you better and you're only going to learn. So I think just like I said, like find somebody, like if you want it to be me, that's really cool. And I love to mentor people and, help. So I think finding that has helped me a lot with, specifically Evan and Gabe. So yeah, I think when you're first starting out here, you do need support, like for real. It's very rough out there sometimes, like you were saying. So just getting all the help you need. I've had a few people, reach out to me, call me and just ask me like questions like, what do I need on my first day? Because just little things like that are important and you really probably don't know. Because like when you start here, you really don't know anything. You don't know anybody, especially me. Like I'm not in Wisconsin, so I'm just kind of in Houston all by myself out here. So just find somebody, that you can call, ask questions, and they'll take you further, I think. Because it's rough out there sometimes.
Can be. And when you're in 100% commission sales, I mean, right. You can have days where you go out and you serve a bunch of people and see deposits, but then there's days where, you do have the 0 for 10, 0 for 8, right? But it's what you do with that right there. So that's my thing. Like everybody comes in and they're like, I'm going to do this, this, and that, and blah, blah, blah. But what do you do when, right, the bullets start flying? Like when you have a couple of days or you get a batch of leads and you don't book anything and you just get shredded, it's like, okay, what are you going to do next? How are you going to respond to that? So, well, cool. I actually I would like to open it up for some questions. No product questions, guys. If you got product questions, just get with your upline on that. But any questions, for Summer, I mean, she's absolutely crushing this thing. So anything from leads, mindset, I mean, anything you guys got, if you can just unmute yourself, and if you can, show your face too.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Summer. So about the leads, I know you said you're running the instant internets, and then just to clarify, did you say you were using the age final expense ones out of the CRM as well? That was the other side you're running, or were they new final expense from like an outside vendor?
No, so I really just use the am I like saying it wrong? It's just the final expense and the hold on, I have my CRM right here. Yeah, it's just the new and instant like final expense leads, like on the CRM, the $11 and $8 leads. That's really pretty much all I've used. I think my first day I did use the 1 month, but I didn't have too much success with that because where I'm at too, I have a pretty good variety amount of leads that are new. So I don't really, have to run to the 1 month, I would say. But I mean, some people love the 1 month. I've heard Peyton and all them say that they literally live off like they love them. So I think it's just finding what works for you when it comes to leads. But yeah, that's worked for me. So I've stuck to it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And I think what you're trying to say is, so you're doing the news in the instance, right?
Right.
But a lot of the time, those things do turn into final expense appointments.
Right.
Where you're looking at protecting, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 of coverage to make sure somebody's not going to be in a bad spot. It's a final expense sale, but it's not okay. Yeah. So news instance. I mean, the cool thing about those is those things can turn into absolutely anything, right? You can come into a mortgage protection appointment. You can come into final expense, annuity opportunity, IUL. I mean, anything comes with that. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Good question, Angelo.
All right, Summer. So what are like 1 or 2 keys that you found that worked for you in the home that you've learned from like, say, Evan or Gabe, or just some things that you found out as going into the field?
Right. So for sure, I love people, like straight up. So I know how to, talk to people and stuff. So I would say instantly just making that connection with the people. And if you haven't been in an in-home yet, like don't stress about it. It's really, you watch all these podcasts and you might like freak out and stress about going in the house, but it's really not bad. Like they literally know you're coming. You're going to the house to give them what they asked for. So just, make the connection with the people, let them know why you're there. But also over time, what I've learned, what Gabe actually told me, and it like worked instantly after I used it. When you're in the home and people say like, I don't want to do it right now. So really all we're there for is to see if we get you approved. And then, you have those 30 days to decide what you want to do with it. So I've used that and it's worked a lot for me recently. Like just tell them straight up, like, yeah, you don't have to pay today. I'm just here to get you approved. We're going to go forward with this application. Like clearly you want it. So does this price work for you? Can you afford it every single month? That's also what like Evan was telling me, because I was kind of like pricing people lower. And he told me like, make sure just quote them the highest that you can, but make sure to ask them like if they're able to afford it every month. And that's helped too. So I think just taking what, maybe you don't know, you can ask me too, and I'll just do my best to answer it. And if I don't know it, I'll refer you to somebody else. But just listening and then applying it, that'll get you far. So.
She's a killer.
Hey, hey, Summer.
Hey.
Hey, Roland here. I have my only question really is what have you encountered as the greatest hesitancy with applicants? Is it strictly just the financial burden? Is it uncertainties, or just what have you experienced as far as hesitancy goes?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I would definitely say the financial thing is an issue a lot of the times. That's just, what you're going to deal with, people not having the money at the time. But like I said, just letting them know that they do not have to pay that today, and telling them that you clearly want it. Like, you filled it out. You want the insurance. Like they always say, nobody wants a bill. So just tell them that, like, nobody wants to pay bills, but at the end of the day, like, you do need this, because if something does happen to you, we're not required a day. Like, you could die tomorrow. That's real life. Sorry, you don't want to hear it, but it's true. So just telling them the truth and laying it out. And then, of course, making that connection with the people. But I would say, yeah, the money thing is an issue a lot of the times. They don't want to do it that day because they can't afford it. Like I said, that's probably number one that you're going to deal with. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so with that though, do you take the time to discuss the quarterly, annually impacts and how that will reduce their costs? Do you take the time to go through that as well, or is it strictly you're to what it sounds like is you're getting the monthly payment plans to fit their ability to fulfill those premiums? Is that
right? So yeah, I lay it out.
Hesitancy.
I lay it out monthly. Like, clearly, if they can't afford $30 a month, they're not going to pay the $200 annual, so yeah. And that's going to help you with your payout and stuff like that too. So yeah, just lay it out monthly. That's what I've been doing.
Well, is there any other hesitancies that you have encountered other than just the finances?
Summer, do you ever run into credibility or trust issues, or they just don't trust talking to you about insurance, or hesitant about somebody showing up and helping them with life insurance? Or do you ever get that?
Not really, because I feel like the people, like I said, when I go into their house, I instantly just make a connection with them to make them trust me. Lay out as soon as you walk in why you're there and what you're there for and why you're there to help them. Ask them what they're looking for and then go from there. But the biggest thing too, like when you get to the application and then they freak out about the account number. Oh my gosh. So I've literally had so many people do that. And then what they'll say is, I don't have it a lot of the times too. That's an issue, which is has been stressing me out, because I know this person, I have this connection with this person, and I'm like, okay, they're going to give it to me tomorrow. And then they don't answer my phone call, or they tell me they don't want to do it. You're going to learn so much about people's body language in this business, and that you really can't trust anybody. You can have the biggest relationship with somebody and then they do you so dirty.
Yeah. That's good. Keep going. So Roland, that'd be my thing that I would say is the account, the personal information, the lack of trust, right? These people actually knowing that you're there for them. I think that's a huge thing in this business, where it's like at first when you're trying to get this business going, you need to sell to get the cash flow, right? But once that changes and you are genuinely there to put people in the best possible spot and to serve them, that's when everything changes, because that lowers their guard big time. If you can come in and say, hey, this is why I'm here. Here's a copy of my license. Here's my NPN number. Here's my, if you can show that to them, show the credibility and truly at the bottom of your heart, know and feel that you're there for them, they can feel that. And if you're genuinely connecting, like you're saying, it's a wrap. And that the trust is the big thing in this business, right? Being able to give somebody, how comfortable are you giving away your social security number to somebody, right? Or your banking information? It's you have to be very personal. You have to put people first in business. And then I think that was always my biggest hurdle is the trust factor. But that also comes back to you being a professional about it, showing up and actually caring about them and treating them right. Right.
Right. And then I tell them a lot of the times, if they are like that, okay, they'll ask me, I'm like, do you really think I drove an hour and a half, 2 hours to your house to scam you? Like, do you think that's what I do with my life? If I do, like, what am I doing? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, why would I drive 2 hours to come to your house to just like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even make sense. And I'll literally tell them that to their face. I'm like, this is my job. Here's my license. Like, no, this is what I'm here for. And they're like, okay, you know. So I think also showing them that like you're being dramatic, like you're tripping, they're like, okay, you know, and then it'll make them like believe you. So
Which is at the end of the day, it's true. I mean, you are there to help them.
yeah.
You're not there to hurt them in any shape or form. It's just if you want insurance companies to pay out death benefits on their end, they're going to need some personal information. So let's talk about it, right?
Right.
It's a good question, Roland.
I do have one more. Is there a instance where you've come across or a applicant approached you with a question that you couldn't answer? And if you couldn't answer it or didn't know the answer, how did you resolve it? Was it calling directly to the carriers or providers to facilitate that question, or did you always just follow up a few days later or something like that? What, you know, and if you can think of like really hard to answer question, give me an idea of what that would be like.
Right. So yeah, never say you're going to call them back days later. They're not going to pick up your phone call. Probably not. So, yeah, like I said, I'm really close to Gabe and Evan. I get a lot of mentorship from them, ask them questions. So I'd probably in that instant add them to the call. Like, hey, I'm going to add my uprider to the call. I'm kind of newer, you know, straight up with them, tell them the truth that I don't know the answer to that question, but I don't want to tell you the wrong answer. So what I'm going to do is add so-and-so to the call and they can answer that question for you. So that's why I said, you know, it's important to have somebody that you can call, because if you do try to call the carrier, it's going to you're going to be on hold for literally ever. And then, yeah, so asking somebody here is going to get you that answer quicker. And it's probably going to be more effective, honestly, because they probably dealt with the same question that you're dealing with. But I would say in the instant, what I've dealt with so far, over the phone specifically, it's just, they're going to tell you a lot of the time that they didn't fill it out or that they don't want it or that they already have it. And whoever asked me that question, have you already dialed it all?
Nope, just getting some information right now. I'm literally, I'm still waiting on two more carriers to finalize. I just got my John Hancock today, and I'm waiting on Aetna and one other to start to give my options. So I mean, I have 5 of 7, so I'm just waiting on 2.
Right. So if you have 5 of 7, I would start. Honestly, like just start if you want to. But yeah, to answer your question, like I said, so it makes sense now that you haven't been on the phone, but you're going to deal with a lot of people who say that they don't want it, they already have it. And to overcome that, you just say, well, my job is to just get you this information. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm just here to give it to you. So, and if they already have it, just say, I'll take 5 minutes of your time. Promise you, it's not going to take any more than 5 minutes. I'm just there to get you the information and to see if I can put you in a better situation. And they might say no and hang up in your face, or they might be like, okay. Actually, I had a guy today who said he already had insurance, and I got him to talk and tell me his carrier, how much he pays, his age, everything. And I said, okay, well, I have a policy right here for your exact age that I can get you for, I think it was like $17 cheaper. And he was like, no, because how am I gonna, I'm already paying off on this, so I'm not going to pay more than I already put into it. And I'm sitting there trying to explain to him that this is a whole life policy. Therefore, you're going to pay on it every month for the rest of your life. So what I'm telling you is I'm going to give you this policy. And for the rest of your life, you're going to pay $17 a month cheaper than what you're paying. But he did not understand that and just started yelling at me. So like, I'm just going to go to his house. Okay. Because he wouldn't let me explain. But like my point is you're going to deal with people like that. And just go to their house, because over the phone sometimes is difficult and they don't really know what you're saying or they're not listening to you. So once you start, you'll see.
You're doing majority in person, right?
Yeah.
We saw a little bit over the phone I've seen, but majority in person.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, guys, if you don't have an answer to a question, just call or get with your upline. If they're working, they'll answer their phone. Like, we're always here to help.
Yeah.
Don't know anything. And that's the better way to go about it. Don't make up an answer you don't know the answer to, right? So anybody got anything else? Just go to their house.
I got one more if we got time.
Yeah, what's up?
Summer, it seems like you're a killer on the phone, especially. What is your phone script and how are you getting around a lot of the common, rebuttals? Like you just went over one, for instance, but do you overcome a lot of stuff on the phone where you can actually get in front of people? Does that happen a lot with a lot of your appointments that you set?
I mean, yeah, but also I think you yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way your personality is, the way your voice is, says a lot about you, like being straight up. So if you're having a bad day and you answer the phone and you're like, hey, this is Brad, is this so-and-so? Like, nobody's going to want to talk to you. So just go to dial day with a good attitude, be nice to the people. Like I've had people who I show up at their house are like, how many people I've had call me and I tell them no, but since you sounded nice, I let you come over. Like so many people have told me that. So I think definitely having a good attitude on the phone. Like I said, I do deal with a lot of people who maybe say they already have it, but like I said, what I say is I'm just going to take 5 minutes of your time, see if I can put you in a better situation. And that's help that objection. So have you done the phones before or no?
Yeah. I've had,
okay. Sorry. I can't even see who's like asking me. So I'm just, but yeah, what is the main one that you deal with? And maybe I can, help you.
I wouldn't say it's anything specific. I get ones where people say, I think all of us have had where they say I already have it. And, you try to use the perfect, I can, just review, or we're doing reviews, that sort of thing. Sometimes that works, but
Right.
at least from my experience, I feel like for most of us, if we can get in front of someone, it's usually, 80% of the time a done deal. I think the phones has been the hardest part for me. So that's why I was curious on how you handled a lot of things like that. Just
Right.
personally.
Yeah. I mean, my phone script is pretty simple. It's just, I answer and I'm like, hi, how are you? My name is Summer. The reason I'm calling is because I actually received the form for final expense that you had filled out. Does that sound familiar? And a lot of the times they do say no. So what I say is, yeah, so what it's for is burial expense. If something was happen to you, if you were to get sick, pass away, it just helps you pay for it. So I have here your date of birth. And I mean, you're going to have people who you've done the phones, they're going to hang up in your face, they're going to do this, but like just literally keep dialing and keeping that same attitude. Like I said, your voice does tell a lot. So don't get mad because somebody upset you and hung up in your face and then called the next person with a bad attitude and then wonder why you didn't get the sale when it was like right in front of you, or the appointment, sorry, not the sale, the appointment when it was right in front of you. So yeah, just keep a good attitude.
Awesome. Thank you.
For sure. And also if you need my phone script or something, just reach out to me and I'll like put my phone number in here and I can send it to you too.
Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
We can wrap it up, but I want to say one more thing about Summer is like, she's come in and the whole, the idea of move fast and break things, right? Like you just came in and you weren't afraid to mess up, right? Because I'm sure
Right.
you spend money on leads and you've completely botched phone scripts, you've botched in homes, or you could have closed them, could have sold it, but you didn't, right? But you just keep persevering and just keep going. And I think that's what this business is in a nutshell, is I always remember Mike Hillman always says, he said, you will have success in this business if you work and you just don't quit. You will have success. You just don't quit. Right. And I mean, now you're starting to get good at it. Right. The first month too. I mean, it's as long as you put the activity in, like you'll fall into sales, you'll help people. But as you start to progress and learn about these things and learn about phone scripts and learn about objections and I mean, sky's the limit, but you've been very coachable. Like I've heard nothing but good things from, Evan and Gabe helping you out. And I'm excited for what you're going to do coming up.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing, like, you're going to have, obviously we talked about, if you haven't gone out in the field, you're going to have like the bad days, but also like talking about the good days. Like on Sunday, I literally had the best day. Like I went to a guy's house. I was there for like an hour and a half, and we had like coffee and like tacos, and then I sold him like a $30,000 eagle. Next house I went to, they had a big party with a barbecue. Like they invited me. So it's honestly, it's the best job ever. You are your own boss and you get to do whatever you want, basically. I mean, obviously be disciplined and like go to work, but there's literally amazing days in the field and you meet the best people ever, and you never know, you might have them the rest of your life. So
boom. Keep an eye out for this one, guys. Excited for you. Well, cool. If anybody here wants to reach would you mind letting them write your phone number down or find a way to get hold of you?
Yeah, my phone number is 409-409-626-1535.
Cool.
Somebody, I don't even know. How do I write in this chat? Oh, I got it. Okay. I'll put it in here. Yeah, reach out to me anytime. I'm probably going to tell you to call me because I'm not a texter. So we can chat.
There it is. Cool. Well, cool, guys. March is going to be a record month. We are going to shatter records. Every agency is going to grow this month. I'm excited for what we have in the pipeline here, and let's keep rolling. Let's keep helping families and keep helping our own. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.